The American Express Platinum Card comes with a $695 annual fee. And although it gives several credits for us to use to justify the annual fee, many of those credits are seemingly hard to use, and we end up doing mental gymnastics to justify the annual fee. Now, one of the credits that we get is the Airline Incidental Fee credit. Basically, every year we get $200 worth of credit for incidental fees towards a specific airline. Now, what are incidental fees? Those are basically anything that aren't the actual flight purchases. So if you wanted to pay for bags, if you wanted to pay for a seat upgrade, if you wanted to pay for lounge access, that will all be included in the $200 incidental airline fee credit. Normally, the way the incidental airline fee credit works is that after we have selected an airlines and we go ahead and utilize those incidental fees, then we will get reimbursed from American Express. For instance, if we select Southwest as our incidental airline fee airline, and then we go on Southwest, we go on a flight and we end up buying food, or we end up purchasing early boarding or priority seating, then American Express will then reimburse us within a few days to possibly a few weeks later. But did you know that you can utilize this credit to book low-fare Southwest Airlines flights? For whatever reason, Southwest tickets, $109 or less, qualify for the Airline Incidental Fee credit. Now, this could be due to a multitude of reasons. Perhaps it's because Southwest Airlines comes with 2 free checked bags and a free carry-on, which these days most airlines don't do. Perhaps the majority of the cost of the ticket comes from the cost of those checked bags or those free carry-on or free seat selection items that we can get in the most basic economy tickets. Whatever the reason is, if we book a flight with Southwest Airlines and the total cost is less than $109, then we're going to get reimbursed by American Express. I will show you not only how easy it is for you to find these tickets and how you can do it in a matter of minutes, but also how you can use the Airline Incidental Fee credit for even more expensive flights. So through this, you will get a $200 Southwest airline credit that you can use for flights every single year, which effectively means that you get $200 worth of flights for free every single year utilizing the Incidental Airline Fee credit. Now, the most important part is that we need to make sure that our airline is selected in the American Express app. Under Rewards and Benefits, we can find the Airline Incidental Fee credit, and we need to make sure that Southwest is selected on it. If we have multiple Platinum cards, then we need to make sure that it's selected on all of the Platinum cards, or at least all of the ones that we are going to try to use. If we have already selected another airline, then we can go ahead and chat the customer service representative and have them switch. Usually it's pretty simple to do so. All we say is that we haven't used any of the credit in the other airline. For instance, if we had picked Spirit Airlines, we can say that we've yet to utilize any of the credit yet, so we would like to move to Southwest, and they will go ahead and do it for you. Now we can do the fun part. The thing about Southwest is that short distance and interstate travel is relatively cheap when it comes to airline tickets. So we just search 2 cities within the same state or 2 cities that are really close to each other. For this example, we're going to go from Dallas to Houston on February 6th, 2024. If you can't tell, this video was recorded over a year ago. And we are going to click the low fare calendar. This way we can see cheap tickets in the nearby future. Now we can see that just for the month of February, there are a lot of cheap tickets. So after we found a date where we can find a cheap flight, we're going to go ahead and book. Now we want to book a Wanna Getaway Plus fare. The reason is if we book a Wanna Getaway Plus fare, those fares are transferable. Meaning if we cancel our flight, we can transfer the flight credit to somebody else. And again, the most important thing to make sure is that the total flight is under $109. Now, the other critical thing is that we need to pay with our American Express Platinum card, the card that we selected Southwest Airlines with as our Airline Incidental Fee credit. And I went ahead and booked this flight, and I got a confirmation code that I'm going to be flying from Dallas to Houston on February 16th. And I went ahead and booked a second flight too, so that I could utilize the total $200 credit. This way I have 2 flights going from Dallas to Houston and or Houston to Dallas, and they add up to $200. Now, let's say I decide to change my mind, that I don't actually want to fly from Dallas to Houston on this specific date. I can go ahead and cancel my flight. Now, the important thing is that if you're canceling a flight that you have recently booked, meaning within the last 24 hours and you're at least 7 days away from flying, then you are actually allowed to get a refund to the payment method that you used. But we don't want that. We want Southwest credits instead. So we're going to click Southwest credits as our refund amount, and then we are going to go ahead and cancel our flight. We can then use these credits in the future. When we're booking our next Southwest flight, then when we're going into our payment method, we can apply our flight credits. Basically, we just enter in our confirmation number and we can use those funds for future flights. So although the incidental airline fee credit only works for flights $109 or less, through this, we can purchase even more expensive flights. Now, since we booked Wanna Getaway Plus fares, we can also transfer these funds to somebody else. We can enter in their Southwest Rapid Rewards account number and their name and their email, and then we can send these funds to that individual so that they can use them themselves. So then in a few days, or perhaps in a few weeks, American Express has said that it can take a while for you to get your credits back. Another issue is that we might be afraid that we don't get our reimbursement back by American Express. And the workaround for this is that on Southwest, we can go ahead and book a refundable flight. So as we were saying, short distance flights are relatively cheap on Southwest. So we're going to fly from San Francisco to Las Vegas, Nevada. And when we search, the fare type that we're going to search for is the anytime fare type. And then we're going to pick a date in the future. Now, there's so many of these that are under $109. So we can just go ahead and pick one. And the reason that we book anytime fare flights is because anytime flights are refundable. So this $99 flight is a refundable flight. Meaning, when we book this flight, we're going to wait, whether it's been a few weeks, and if we see that American Express hasn't reimbursed us, then we can go ahead and refund our flight purchase to get our money back. The important thing is though, if we do refund it and they have reimbursed us, then they're going to take that reimbursement back. So that is something to be careful of. I was fine with booking Wanna Getaway Plus because I know that I'm going to fly Southwest. So even if I don't fly that short haul Dallas to Houston flight, I know that I'm eventually going to use the Southwest credit if I do end up canceling the short distance flight I booked. So hopefully if we have the American Express Platinum card or one of the business Platinum cards, then this helped us utilize our credits that we get with them. And we're not doing as many mental gymnastics to justify the annual fee. And if we are considering the American Express Platinum or the American Express Business Platinum cards, then there are high sign-up bonus offers available right now. I found these by being located in Dallas, Texas. And many people do say that they've had luck going on a VPN and searching for the Platinum card on incognito mode in Safari with their VPN located in Dallas, Texas. So perhaps that might be a thing that we consider when we're applying for the card. Another thing is that if we get the Platinum card, then we're not going to be eligible for the personal gold card sign-up bonus. So if we haven't had either of those cards yet, or we haven't had the green card either, then that could go into consideration over what card we wanted. Lastly, these credits are annual credits, and they're annual by calendar year. Meaning if we open up a card in 2025 and we don't get our annual fee for another year later, let's say we open it up on December 15th, 2025, then we can use the airline incidental fee credit along with all the other annual credits sometime between December 15th and December 31st of 2025. We can then use the credit again in 2026, and then we can use it in the first few weeks of January 2027 before we're hit with the next annual fee. So those of us who are considering on holding the card just for a short period of time, or just utilizing it for the sign up bonus, and then we decide to cancel after a year, we can effectively use any of the annual credits, including this one, 3 separate times. So if you are considering the American Express Platinum card or any American Express card, and you want to know how to utilize those credits to find American Airlines flights, then this video is for you. As always, if you have any questions, do leave them down below. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.